Hello and welcome. As the future leaders in hospitality, you're going to learn pretty quickly that a hotel's success isn't just about fantastic service, it's about really mastering the numbers that make it all happen. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the single biggest expense on any hotel's budget, labor. And we're going to look at it from a really high-level perspective, that of an owner's representative, the person whose job it is to protect the investment.
A really special welcome to all you students from Europe Hotel School. We actually designed this explainer to give you a real-world edge, to get you past the textbook and show you how these top-level decisions are really made out in the field. So let's dive in.
All right, let's kick things off with the most important number in hotel finance, 50%. Just let that sink in. About half of a hotel's entire operating cost can be tied up in labor. I mean, one single expense eating up nearly half the budget. That's exactly why getting a handle on labor management isn't just, a good idea. It's absolutely the key to profitability.
But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. You can't just take a knife to this cost. Like it says right here, it's a delicate balancing act. If you squeeze too hard, you crush the guest experience. If you don't manage it at all, the bottom line suffers. Finding that sweet spot, that perfect balance between financial health and amazing service, well, that is the mark of a truly great leader in our industry. So how does someone like an owner's rep figure out what's really going on with the hotel's labor performance? Well, they don't use gut feelings, that's for sure. They use a very specific toolkit to get a clear, data-driven picture. Let's go ahead and open up that toolkit and see exactly what's inside.
First thing you'll find in there are productivity ratios. Think of these like the most important dials on a car's dashboard. They don't just tell you how much you're spending on your team, they show you what you're actually getting for that money. It's all about connecting your labor costs to a real business result. Let's make this super practical. For housekeeping, a key ratio is hours per occupied room, or HPOR, right? Does it take your team 30 minutes to clean a room, or does it take 45? That 15-minute difference adds up incredibly fast across hundreds of rooms. Then you go down to the restaurant, and you'd be tracking something like covers per labor hour. Basically, how many guests can one server handle efficiently without service slipping? These simple numbers tell you instantly if you might have a problem brewing.
Okay, next up, we look at what's called the labor mix. Are you relying way too heavily on your full-time staff? Or maybe you're constantly calling in expensive agency workers to plug last-minute holes in the schedule? See, every hotel needs a smart blend of full-time, part-time, and maybe some contract staff. If you get this mix wrong, you're either overstaffed when it's quiet or you're paying a huge premium for last-minute help. A healthy mix gives you both flexibility and cost control.
And it doesn't stop there. A really thorough audit goes even deeper. You start asking other questions. Is the hotel kind of top-heavy with too many managers for the number of frontline staff? Are things like benefit loads and payroll taxes being managed the right way? And what about overtime? Is it becoming a regular, predictable expense? Every single one of these can be a quiet but significant drain on that bottom line.
So with all this data, the temptation is obvious, right? Just cut staff. It just seems like the easiest, quickest way to save a buck. But this, right here, is the single biggest trap in hotel management. A smart leader knows that focusing only on cutting costs leads to what we call a race to the bottom. And trust me, that's a race your hotel will always lose.
This slide shows you exactly how that downward spiral plays out. Look at step 1. You make some aggressive cuts. Well, that leads directly to step 2. Your service quality nosedives. Rooms aren't as clean, the front desk is swamped. Then comes step 3. Guest satisfaction absolutely plummets. And you know what that means? The bad online reviews start pouring in. And the final result, step 4, is inevitable. You have to start lowering your rates just to get people in the door. You've saved a little on labor, but you've completely crippled your revenue potential.
So if just blindly cutting costs is the trap, what's the solution? What's the strategic move? It's all about being agile, being responsive. It's what we call the art of flexing, and this is how you build a much stronger, more resilient operation.
At its core, flexing is the heart of modern, efficient labor management. It simply means you're not locked into some rigid, fixed staffing schedule. Instead, you're dynamically adjusting your staffing levels up or down in almost real time, all based on the one metric that matters most, your ever-changing occupancy. Here's how that looks in practice. It's high season, right? The hotel is buzzing and occupancy is through the roof. A flexible model lets you scale up instantly. You bring in those extra housekeepers, the extra front desk agents, the extra restaurant staff you need to handle that rush. And the result? You're delivering great guest experiences and you're maximizing your revenue when demand is at its peak. Now, let's flip the script. Fast forward to the low season. Occupancy drops, and your model flexes right back down with it. You reduce hours, perfectly aligning your labor costs with your current revenue. This is what protects your profitability and keeps the whole operation lean. You get world-class service when you need it, and you get smart savings when you don't.
So, as you move forward in your careers, these are the core strategies you really need to remember. First, always audit your efficiency using those productivity ratios. Second, carefully balance your labor mix to give you flexibility and cost control. And maybe most importantly, master the art of flexing your labor to meet demand. That's how you protect both the guest experience and the bottom line.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. The numbers on a spreadsheet, they're absolutely critical. But the memories you create for your guests, that's what builds a truly legendary hotel. The ultimate test of your leadership will always be your ability to balance the two. So the question is, how will you master that delicate act?